This year, we explored some of the world's most stunning nude beaches in Spain, France, Croatia, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, Portugal, and the UK. With 2025 just around the corner, we wanted to share some personal favorites. We hope that this video sparks your wanderlust and helps inspire your next clothes-free adventure. Let's start in Spain, where we visited the mythical island of Formentera, which is known to be one of the most nude-friendly places in Europe. Nudity is more or less accepted on any beach, but one that tends to attract a lot of naked sunbathers is Playa Cetes, in the northern tip of the island. Cetes is nothing short of breathtaking. It's recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and ranks among the world's best beaches. It is the best beach in Spain, second in Europe, and fifth globally. This stunning peninsula has pristine beaches on both sides that can easily make you think you're in the Maldives or the Caribbean. However, its beauty doesn't go unnoticed. Because of its popularity, Cetes also attracts many day trippers from Ibiza, so it can get crowded and not just with naked people. For a more relaxed experience, it's best to visit during the week rather than the weekends. In any case, most people tend to gather near the first cove by the bar, so if you walk further towards the tip of the peninsula, you'll find fewer bathing suits and more naked people. This walk is definitely not a punishment because the views are spectacular. Cetes has its fame, but this overview will also contain some lesser-known hidden gems. Staying in Spain, we shift our focus to the mainland, about 45 minutes south of Cadiz, to the stunning Cala de Roche, a natural reserve of picturesque coves. The landscape is spectacular, and it doesn't come as a surprise that this is an excellent spot for skinny dipping. The first cove you'll encounter coming from Roche town is Cala el Frailecillo, which even has a sign designating it as clothing optional. As you explore further, you'll find Cala el Enebro and Cala del Pato, where the unofficial dress code also leans strongly towards nude rather than clothed. From the cliffs above, you can overlook the coves and pick your favorite spot before going down via the staircases. At low tide, you can even stroll from one cove to another. Moving on to Croatia, more specifically to the island of Krka, where we stayed at the lovely Bonsuluca camping resort. The beach at Bonsuluca offers everything you need for a perfect day under the sun. There's a cozy bar and restaurant, and if you didn't pack snacks, no worries. A small grocery store and souvenir shop have you covered. Sunbeds and umbrellas are available to rent, which is handy since most of the beach is pebbly, with just a touch of sand at the far end. You don't need to be a guest of the resort to enjoy this beach, by the way. For those traveling with four-legged friends, this is one of the few nude beaches we found in Croatia with a designated dog area. Beyond the resort, the coastline offers 3 more secluded beaches, reachable only by hiking or boat. While not officially part of Bonsuluca, they're wonderfully clothing optional and offer a wilder, more adventurous vibe. The first stop, Plaza Jablanova, is just a 10-minute walk away and has its own beach bar. It wasn't open when we visited, it might be during peak season. If you're up for a challenge, the trail gets steeper as you continue. Next up is Maliraj, also called Little Paradise Cove, a tiny, picturesque beach that lives up to its name. Further along, you'll find Villa Vršelica, which is a long, pebbly stretch where you can escape the summer crowds. Reaching these beaches takes a bit of effort, but for those who enjoy the journey as much as the destination, it's well worth it. And it's also possible to do the hike in the nude. At just a stone's throw from Krka is the island of Rab, which is home to Europe's oldest official nude beach. Candarola Beach also stands out as a nude day resort. While overnight stays aren't possible, it offers an impressive range of facilities that you typically only find at a well-equipped campground. Right at the beach are sun loungers and parasols spread across different sections, giving plenty of comfort for sunbathers. There are also showers, toilets, a volleyball court, a relaxing pool, a spacious garden, and, of course, direct access to the crystal clear waters of the Adriatic Sea. When you get hungry or thirsty, the on-site restaurant Baiser Candarola serves a delicious selection of local dishes. According to the legend, back in the early 1930s, King Edward VIII of the United Kingdom asked the local government for authorization to swim nude at Candarola Beach. The government approved, making this the first official nude beach on the continent. Back in those days, skinny dipping was still a big no-no in England, which encouraged the king to do this on holiday in Croatia instead. But a lot has changed since then. Today, nudity is legal on any beach in the UK, and the country has plenty of beaches that are known to receive naked visitors. Our first thought was to highlight Studland Beach in Dorset. It's a lovely beach, but as this is probably England's most famous nude beach, we don't think it still needs an introduction. So instead, we're taking you to Cornwall in the very southwest of the country. When we got to Penvalder Beach, the weather was all but naturist-friendly, and apparently this is not uncommon for this area. So you need to be a bit lucky and keep an eye on the weather forecast if you want to get naked here. But even in not so great weather, the scenery at Penvalder is absolutely breathtaking. It feels so remote, you would swear you're not in the UK anymore. The trail down to Penvalder is not for the faint of heart. It demands decent footwear and reasonable level of fitness. The final stretch of the hike is the toughest, with about a 20-meter vertical drop. It's all just part of the experience, and just like the hike, swimming here is for the adventurous too. Penvalder is easily one of the most stunning nude beaches we've ever visited, and it's definitely on our list to revisit, hopefully in sunnier weather. We're leaving Europe behind for now and travel all the way to Down Under. Australia's New South Wales state has several nude beaches, but the one we personally found the most impressive was Samurai Beach, which is one of the few nude beaches in the world that allow motorized vehicles. Although it is possible to come by foot as well, you're looking at a long walk. So if you don't have a four-wheel drive, this beach may not be something for you. Driving on the beach is a real experience and a lot of fun. It is recommended to drive with caution though, not just to protect yourself and others, but also the environment. Only by being thoughtful, this beach will remain a nude beach that is accessible by car. At the end of the beach is a campground where you can only get via the beach. So your camper will need some horsepower if you want to camp here. It's not considered a nude campground, but we found that the dress code was very similar to that on the beach. On the other side of the Tasman Sea, we went to Pohutakawa Beach near Auckland in New Zealand. We have to say that New Zealand has a lot of spectacular beaches, and it was very hard to pick a favorite. The reason why we chose Pohutakawa is probably because it was our first glimpse of the amazing New Zealand landscapes. The half-hour walk from the parking lot to the beach feels as if you're strolling through a fairy tale with rolling hills and bright green grass. The beach itself is a long sandy stretch with crystal clear waters and plenty of shade thanks to the Pohutakawa tree. We also want to mention Little Palm Beach on Waiheke Island. The beach itself is not as spectacular as many others we found in New Zealand, especially when it comes to nature and scenery, but what makes this beach very different from all the others is its vibe. There were couples, families, and groups of friends, making it seem more like a nude beach in France or Spain than one in New Zealand. We keep traveling east, across the Pacific Ocean, towards one of our most beloved places in the world. I have to say that this part of the video may be a bit biased, because we love Zipolite, Mexico, and not just for its nude beach. The relaxed hippie vibe of the town is something we appreciate a lot, and the many clothing optional resorts make it a perfect place for a nude vacation. But that doesn't mean that we don't like the beach though. On the contrary, the scenery is spectacular and the many beach bars give it a very urban vibe. They also make sure that the cold beer is never far away. Zipolite is a place where nudity is very accepted, which is not that common in this part of the world. The downside of Zipolite Beach is the strong ocean. Waves easily reach a height of a couple of meters, and a strong undercurrent makes swimming very dangerous. The surfers love it, but if you like to spend your days in the water, you might be a bit disappointed. Of course, you can always pick a resort with a swimming pool to cool down. For the last two beaches, we're heading back to Europe. First to the Algarve in the very south of Portugal, where we found a beach called Praia de Nude, literally translated Beach of Naked Humans. If that isn't a real giveaway what this beach is about, I don't know what is. The beach is located on Tavira Island, and a funny tourist train takes you straight to it from the main road. If you don't want to cough up €2 for the train ride, the walk doesn't take more than 15 to 20 minutes. Near the entrance of the beach is a very small sign saying Nature's Beach 1,000 meters. But in our experience, nobody bothers walking that far. In fact, we already found naked people before we noticed the sign. It's the beach of naked humans after all. The further you walk to the east, the more the beach becomes nude only. It may seem cliché, but for our last nude beach on the list, we're taking you to the queen of naturism, France. I could easily make a 5-season Netflix series about all the nude options in France and tell you all about the endless wide stretches of the Atlantic coast or the idyllic coves of the Mediterranean Sea. But we didn't go there this year. Instead, we decided to explore the north of the country, where we stumbled upon yet another spectacular beach. Very few people have probably heard about Saint-Germain-sur-Aille, although it is an official nude beach. We visited this beach at low tide, and our first thoughts was, where did the sea go? The entire bay is dry at that time of the day, and it took us over 15 minutes to walk from the dunes to the water's edge. While the official nude section is only about 100 meters wide, with a beach this massive, who's really counting? From the drone shots, you can see that most of the area gets flooded at high tide. So if you're a fan of combining sunbathing and skinny dipping, that might be the better time to visit. But then you'll miss out on something really unique. At low tide, a massive oyster farm becomes visible, stretching across the beach. Millions of oysters are grown here until they're ready for gourmet events. We have never seen anything like this before and found it incredibly impressive. If you're tempted to try oysters straight from the nude beach, there's a cozy bar near the entrance where you can enjoy them. I hope that I could inspire you to visit some nude beaches in 2025. Whether it's one of these or another one doesn't really matter. But if you want to know more about the beaches you've just seen, have a look around our channel because we've made more detailed videos about all of them. If you enjoyed this overview, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to discover more clothes-free places around the world.